And we're getting a piece of breaking input. Opposition's vice presidential candidate B. Sudarshan Reddy breaks silence on some BJP leaders criticizing him for meeting RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav. And he says that Lalu is not an ordinary man. That is a big statement that is coming in from opposition's VP candidate Sudarshan Reddy, and we'll listen in to his reaction.
ऐसे चीजों पे क्या कमेंट करने का, उनके जो दिल में आया बोलते जाते हैं। क्या लालू जी कोई आम मामूली आदमी है क्या?
That is a big statement that is coming in from opposition's VP candidate Sudarshan Reddy, and he has broken silence on meeting RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad Yadav. As we know, Lalu Prasad Yadav is convicted in the fodder scam, and the BJP had criticized Sudarshan Reddy for meeting RJD Supremo Lalu Prasad Yadav yesterday. The BJP attacked Sudarshan Reddy for meeting a convicted person in the fodder scam and questioned Sudarshan Reddy's allegiance to the party and to the country and to the constitution as well. And he has clearly broken his silence, and he has said that Lalu Prasad Yadav is not an ordinary man. So that is a big statement that is coming in ahead of the crucial vice presidential election that is going to take place today. As we know that the vice presidential elections will start at 10 a.m. and the counting of votes will begin after 6 p.m. today. And we are getting to know that the counting of votes will be done in a very speedy manner, and the counting of votes might be done in just 2 hours. And we are joined by Sherin Elizabeth on this broadcast. A very good morning to you, Sherin. Now that Sudarshan Reddy has broken his silence on meeting Lalu Prasad Yadav, and as we know that he is convicted in the fodder scam, he has said that he is no ordinary man. How do you see this, Sherin?
This basically was a last week visit in Bihar, where the mandate was that the opposition vice president candidate Sudarshan Reddy is supposed to meet the leaders and MPs of the RJD, which they have been doing as part of the campaign, meeting every party, opposition parties, and asking them to vote for Sudarshan Reddy. So this part of this campaign is when we also met Tejasvi Yadav along with Lalu Prasad Yadav in Bihar, and this has now been picked up, of course, by the BJP. Because as far as Sudarshan Reddy is concerned, he has made it very clear that Lalu Prasad Yadav is very much part of the opposition. He is the candidate of the opposition, and Lalu Prasad Yadav is no ordinary man. He has been the union minister for several years. The allegation that is coming in from the BJP is something that has been dismissed by Sudarshan Reddy at this point, because as far as Lalu Prasad Yadav is concerned, he has not been convicted. He is out on bail. So what is really the allegation here, or what is the controversy here, is the question that is being asked by the vice president candidate of the opposition.
All right, Sherin, do let our viewers know that how does the number game look like for Sudarshan Reddy today?
The number games are not really looking good for Sudarshan Reddy. There's no doubt about it, because as far as the opposition candidate is concerned, the votes of opposition MPs, both in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, are concerned, it is going to be somewhere near 320. The plan of the opposition party is to make sure that this 320 votes are intact, and there is no cross voting from their side. They were, of course, hoping for a cross voting from the TDP as well as YSRCP, because B. Sudarshan Reddy hails from Andhra Pradesh, but that is not something that is going to happen. TDP has made it very clear that they are going to stand with the NDA candidate. YSRCP also yesterday has in fact made it very clear that they are going to vote for CP Radhakrishnan. So the number game is not in favor of the opposition. That is something that they knew from day one. The entire point of putting across a candidate like B. Sudarshan Reddy is to make a statement, is to give a message that they are, in fact, it's a war of ideology, and that is why they want to put across a candidate was the whole point of the opposition, and they have done so. Of course, matter of a few hours, by 6 p.m. the counting will begin, and we'll get to know who is the new vice president of India. But the numbers are clearly not in favor. They are only hoping for a cross voting. That also is something that is going to be difficult now.
Right. We are also joined by Aman Sharma on this broadcast. Aman, if you could walk us through the voting process that is going to take place today.
Well, Harsh, the voting will begin at 10 a.m. So we'll see most probably the Prime Minister being among the first ones to vote at 10 a.m. And after that, you will see the other MPs from both the houses of Parliament, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, cast their vote, come to the new Parliament building and cast their votes. And this is going to go on till around 6 p.m., 5 p.m., till when the voting will go on. And after 6 p.m., the counting will start. We could have the result around 8 or 8:30 p.m. That is what we are hearing. It is not expected to be that close a contest as it was earlier being imagined, because as Sharon was explaining, that the India bloc was very confident earlier that there will be cross-voting from the NDA side. But over the last few days, we have seen that how the YSR-CP has totally come out in the favor of the NDA, and they will, all their 12 MPs will be voting in the favor of the NDA. Two key parties, the BRS and the BJD, both have decided to abstain from voting. So that is also something that, earlier election and earlier bills, in fact, inside the parliament, both these parties in some measure had supported the NDA, but both these parties this time have decided to abstain from the voting of the vice president. The NDA is hoping for almost 436 plus votes in its favor, while as Sharon was explaining, the India bloc is expecting around 315 to 320. So the gap could be pretty huge, 110, 120 votes in the ultimate result. So that could be a major booster for the NDA, and that the fight actually is about increasing your number of votes. It is about to show off the margin. The result is a foregone conclusion. It is expected that the NDA candidate will win easily, but how much is the margin will be the key factor today evening, because a lot of messages, a lot of political messages will be read into that. But has the India bloc been able to keep its flock together? Has the NDA been able to keep its flock together? Have they been cross-voting? There are also the spectre of invalid votes always in a vice presidential election. Earlier also, during the election of Mr. Dhankad or the election of Venkaiah Naidu, nearly 10 to 15 votes were declared invalid because the voting process is quite meticulous. So that will also be something that will be closely watched today, and that is why BJP held its workshop for 2 days. Congress also held a workshop, mock voting for its MP, so that there is no spectre of invalid voting. The Prime Minister has also asked all the NDA MPs to ensure that the votes are cast in such a manner that there are no invalid votes which are cast.
Right, Aman. Thank you, Aman and Shireen, for gathering all that.